Yo everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a low calorie, high protein, high volume full day of eating. I actually haven't done a full day of eating video in a while, so I thought I would. I know they are very helpful, and the purpose of this video isn't to say that if you want to lose fat, you need to eat 1,600 or 1,700 calories per day or anything along those lines. Some of you obviously do, but some of you don't. It just depends. But the purpose of this video is just to show you how you can maximize your calories. So, if you are in a calorie deficit, you can keep hunger at a low. And that is obviously really important, because the more hungry you are in a calorie deficit, that is just going to increase the likelihood of you saying it and going off track. Okay, so I'm gonna kick things off with a breakfast that I pretty much had every morning, I think, when I was prepping for my bodybuilding show. I actually don't know if the grams are exact here to that breakfast that I had, but it's pretty much the same thing. So I'm gonna add 150 grams of chopped up mushrooms to a frying pan. And now that they are pretty much cooked, I'm gonna add in 300 ml of egg whites. Let's add in some sea salt, some PAP or IKA, smoked. And you could just leave this set and make it into an omelette if you want, but I am going to go with scramble today. And last but not least, I'm gonna add 100 grams of spinach into the mix, which might seem like a lot of spinach, but as a lot of you probably know, spinach honestly just shrivels up into nothing. So this is the spinach before, and this is the spinach after. That would genuinely make you have trust issues. And as that cooks away for the final few minutes, I'm gonna add 300 grams of fat-free yogurt to a bowl. So per 100 grams of this one that I get in little, there is only 57 calories and 8.9 grams of protein, really good. And then I'm gonna add 150 grams of frozen mixed berries to the top. These are the ones that I am using today. They pretty much sell mixed berries everywhere, and if you are eating them kind of directly from frozen, which is always what I do, I never really bother defrosting them overnight or anything along those lines. I usually just put them in the microwave for like 30 seconds or so and they're fine. Well, I think they're fine anyway. Alright, so breakfast is served. Egg white, spinach and mushroom mix, and some fat-free yogurt topped with berries. So in total, this meal has 427 calories and 64 grams of protein. And just to break it down for anybody that cares, this only has 188 calories and 37 grams of protein, and this has 239 calories and 27 grams of protein. But yeah, you can obviously mix things up whatever way you like. I personally, while I was on prep, I think I had a smaller portion of this, and I left room for a piece of bread with this or something along those lines. So it had slightly less protein in the meal, but roughly around the same calories. But yeah, I think the key things here are the food choices that I've made. So the egg whites, honestly, egg whites are the most voluminous protein source that you can get. Spinach and mushrooms are super low in calories, so this is just a very low calorie, high protein, high volume meal, and the same goes for this. So the fat-free yogurt, low in calories, high in protein, and the mixed berries are low in calories as well. They're full of fiber, so it's going to keep you full. So all in all, this is just a really good way to set you up for the day for at least a few hours. And if you want, you can add some sauces. So I'm a big fan of the ketchup and mustard combo on the egg white mix. This one here that you get from Lidl only has 36 calories per 100 grams, which is really good. And if you wanted to add any syrup to this, you could add like a 0-calorie maple syrup. So yeah, all in all, this is a solid meal, in my opinion. Okay, so at lunch, I personally don't like taking a large amount of time out of my day to prep a meal or anything along those lines. I'm sure a lot of you are in the same position. And when you are in that position, I think you have two main options. So option number one is to meal prep. So either, meal prep the night before or meal prep a few days in advance and bring in a big, low calorie, high protein, high volume meal. Or you can go for a more convenient option. And convenience usually is the route I go down, and I make myself a big salad. So I usually buy a pre-made salad bowl from any of the main supermarkets. This one here is from SuperValu. I think there's 310 grams of mixed salad in there. I'll combine that with a lean protein source. I have a couple of options here. I think I'm gonna go with ginger, chili and lime chicken today, but chicken tikka breast pieces are also great. Barbecue glazed beef pastrami, this is also quite calorie friendly. And yeah, there usually are a few other options in the main supermarkets. I'm also gonna add in some jalapenos because I am a big fan. and I'm gonna top it with some Fake Away burger sauce. So this sauce here is from the Skinny Food Co, and there's only 56 calories per 100 grams, which is good and it's very tasty. So with the salad, I always kind of like to chop it up a little bit just so it doesn't feel like I'm eating massive leaves. I usually do the same with whatever protein source I'm using just to make it feel like I am eating more. Let's add the chicken in. Let's add in 30 grams of jalapeno, so some red and some green as well. Let's add a little bit of sea salt for some flavor. So this is how we are looking before I ruin it with some sauce. And then 50 grams of this burger sauce, which only has 28 calories. So that is 25 grams. Then I always like to give it a shake and add the rest. I actually only ended up using 40 grams in total. All right, so 326 calories and 45 grams of protein. A really, really good calorie to protein ratio. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you are on a low calorie diet, if you are in a calorie deficit and you are not including a salad in your diet every single day, you are missing out. And even aside from the fact that salad generally is really voluminous, probably one of the most voluminous things that you can eat, it actually acts as a bit of an insurance policy as well, because when you are in a calorie deficit, the chances of you being deficient in some micronutrients is obviously going to massively increase because you're not eating as much food. So yeah, a vegetable packed meal with a few different types of veg in there is going to just help ensure that doesn't happen. Okay, so I am a big fan of a post-lunch snack, and popcorn is a great option in terms of volume. And if you're going for packaged popcorn, then salted is usually your best bet. That is because when you go for flavored popcorn, so toffee popcorn for example, that is usually a lot more dense. So for example, if you compared a 30-gram bag of salted popcorn versus a 30-gram bag of toffee popcorn, you would get a lot more popcorn in the 30-gram bag of salted popcorn. So this bag here has 30 grams and 132 calories, and let me show you how much popcorn you get. All right, so as you can see, a very sizable bowl, pretty much takes up the whole bowl, so 132 calories. And just to compare, these are some yogurt slices that Rach gets, and per slice, I think we all kind of know what kind of thing these are, even if you are not familiar with this specific brand. But per slice, there is 80 calories. You get 2 slices in a little pack, so there's 160 calories in this tiny little pack versus 132 calories in the popcorn. I know which one I'd be going with. So yeah, honestly, I think somebody needs to tell Rach that she needs to cop on when it comes to these shitty snacks. I think I stopped eating yogurt slices when I was about 4 years old. I'm only messing. No, I'm not. Okay, so at dinner time, I generally have a little bit more time to prepare something in the kitchen, so I usually will spend a little bit more or a little bit longer at this meal, but I still don't like spending ages, especially during the week. You're in a routine, you've had a long day, you just want to chill out on the couch. So yeah, I just think that finding that balance at dinner, so the balance between a tasty meal, one that is calorie and macro friendly, one that is high in volume, but also one that doesn't take you absolutely ages to prepare, that is key. For me anyway. So I'm going to be making a stir fry, always a solid option, and these are the ingredients that I'm going to be using already chopped up. So I have half a green, half a red pepper, I have 1 medium carrot, I have half an onion and 2 spring onions. And then as a low calorie rice substitute, I'm going to be having 1 bag of this cauliflower rice. So yeah, each bag contains 160 grams of cauliflower rice, only 29 calories, and you just stick it in the microwave for a few minutes and it's good to go. So it's really, really handy. And then I'm going to be using some extra lean beef steak mince as my protein source, as well as a few other ingredients that I'll show you now. Okay, so I'm going to start by adding 150 grams of my lean beef mince to the pan. That is going to be followed by all of my veg. All right, so now that everything is almost ready to go, I'm going to season with some Cajun. I'm going to add about 30 ml of Worcestershire sauce. Mix all of that in. Then I have dissolved 1 stock cube in about 200 ml of boiling water, and I'm going to add half of it to the pan. I'm going to let that simmer away on a high heat just for a couple of minutes until the water reduces and begins to thicken a little. Then I'm going to add in my bag of cauliflower rice that I have heated up in the microwave. Let's mix that in. And the reason that I've used quite a lot of sauces and seasoning is because cauliflower rice can be quite bland, so it's important that your dish has a lot of flavor to it. And let's serve it up. This is actually a ridiculously big portion. I also find that when you add mince to a stir fry, no matter how many other colors you add, it always just ends up looking a bit brown, doesn't it? Like, it's a bit brown. But the brownness aside, this is a great shout. So in terms of calories, there is 343 calories, if I am not mistaken. Yes, 343 calories and 38 grams of protein. And just look at the amount of food that you get. Like, this is a big plate. It takes up the whole plate. 343 calories. That is a joke. A good joke. Be rude not to give it a bit of a taste. Wow. That is so good. It's actually full of flavour despite the fact that there is cauliflower rice in there, which can be bland. And I think it's the Worcestershire sauce that really makes a difference here. It's such a strong taste. And it's actually pretty decent in terms of calories as well, because you never have to use too much. So yeah, if Worcestershire sauce isn't in your arsenal of sauces, get it in there. Okay, so my final meal of the day is going to be more of a sweet, like dessert kind of meal, because that is just something that works for me. You know, those of you who know me, or those of you who watch me regularly, will know that it is something that I do all of the time. It's just something that, you know, I look forward to for the whole day. But I do know that, you know, from being an online coach and from working with so many people, that it is a strategy that doesn't work for everyone. And, you know, for some people, if they have something like really sweet in the evening times, it can trigger them, you know, to eat more and more and more, and you know, it might turn into a binge. So if you are someone who really struggles, you know, with something like that, then something that you could do is not cut, you know, sweet foods out of your diet completely, but you could have them earlier in the day when you were, you know, much less likely to binge. So for example, if you had a sweet meal as a breakfast meal, if you had something sweet after lunch and then went back to work or something along those lines, then your likelihood of binging is going to go way down. And as a result, you know, you're still having your sweet treat every day, but it is not, you know, massively derailing or hindering your progress. Okay, so the blender is out, which can only mean one of a few things in fairness, but what I'm going to be making now is protein ice cream. And I've actually very recently found a protein ice cream recipe that I absolutely love, because, you know, from trying loads in the past, they are very hit and miss. You know, if you have made protein ice cream before, you will know that sometimes, you know, you make a batch and you try some and you're like, wow, this is actually shit. This one for me is delicious. It's really good. So I'm going to start by breaking up one banana and adding it to the blender. This one here weighs 84 grams, but anything between like 75 and 100 grams is fine. I'm going to add in some ice, and you don't really need to weigh it, but just for reference, I am using about 350 grams here. Then I'm going to add in 200 ml of almond milk, and this only has 22 calories per 100 ml, which is really good. Then I'm going to blend it up, and the blending time will obviously depend on what blender you have, but with this Ninja blender, it usually takes about a minute or so. Okay, we are fully blended, and next up I'm gonna add in about 2 teaspoons of low calorie sweetener. I'm gonna add in 20 grams of powdered peanut butter. I'm gonna add in about 4 grams of xanthan gum. And xanthan gum is actually the key ingredient in this, because number one, it is gonna help thicken the whole mixture up. It is gonna help give it a lot of volume as well. And yeah, you might find it in the baking section of one of your main supermarkets, or otherwise you'll find it online. I got mine on eBay. I'm gonna add 30 grams of whey protein into the mix, and I've actually tried out a number of different whey proteins with this recipe. So I've tried chocolate brownie, I've tried cookies and cream. They all are really tasty, I have to say, but this is coffee ice cream from Ghost, and this goes really well as well. Okay, and now we are ready for round 2 of the blending. Again, the blending time will depend on your blender, but for me to get the most volume out of this, I usually blend for anywhere between 2 and 3 minutes. Okay, so just for reference, this is what it is like after 1 minute of blending, so it is up to here. So I'll show you what it is like after 2 or 3 minutes. Alright, and this is what it is like after 3 minutes, so it pretty much goes up to, you can't see the line, but this line here, meaning there is 2 liters of ice cream in this baby. 2 liters. So this is how we are looking. This is the texture that we are dealing with, nice and thick. Gonna take this middle part out, scrape all of the ice cream off. I always spend ages doing this. I just don't want a single bit to go to waste. And sometimes I actually go to lick the blades, and then I'm like, no, actually, that's probably not a good idea. Let's get it into a bowl. Rage gives out to me for eating it in the blender. Okay, so absolutely ridiculously large bowl of ice cream. Let's give it a taste. Pretty good. What I like most about it is the combo of the banana and peanut butter. No matter what whey protein you use, there's always that distinct taste. about the ice cream. So yeah, I really like it. And I usually do leave some more calories and I top it with some cereal. It's usually Cocoa Pops. So yeah, I usually add about 25 grams of Cocoa Pops, which has like 97 calories-ish. There's 15 grams here, I just couldn't fit the rest on top. Let's give it a taste with the Cocoa Pops. If you can save those few calories for the Cocoa Pops, then do, for sure. Alright everyone, I'm going to wrap the video up there, but before I do, I want to display the total calories and protein for all of the meals and snacks I showed you today on screen now. And remember, I'm not saying that these are the calories and the protein that you should be consuming. Instead, I'm just showing you how your food choices when you are in a calorie deficit can make a big difference. And yeah, hopefully my meals and my little ideas gave you some inspiration on how you can make your calorie deficit a lot easier as well. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video everyone. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you comment below and let me know as well. Always really appreciate every single thumbs up and every single comment I get. They go a long way. So honestly, if you did take value from this video, please make sure you do that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you are all keeping well and I will see you next week.